Welcome to Four Finger Discount, where this week we're here to review an episode that, honestly, I've been very looking forward to getting stuck into. It's an episode that is very divisive. At the time, apparently, it was absolutely just panned by critics, panned by fans. How dare you do this, Matt Selman, to us? As diehard Simpsons fans, it is that 90s show. I am Dando.
And I am Guy, yes, coming to you fresh from the 90s. This was a very pleasurable step back in time for me, I've got to say. I mean, look, the episode had its pros and cons, shall we say, but...
I think it had way more pros and cons, though.
I really am... I can't see the issue.
I am flabbergasted. I don't understand. Yeah. It's season 19, everybody, right? Yeah. I get we still want some continuity, but I think Matt does a good enough job at establishing at the start that this is just not going to be one of those canon ones. It's just going to be one where we fuck around with things, and it's just going to be a bit of fun. It's more of a parody of the floating timeline than anything.
It is. Let me put it to you this way.
Yeah.
Back when, let me take you way, way, way back in time. Back even on the 90s.
Time and space.
To the 1970s and even the early 1980s when I was reading Marvel comic books. And one of the titles that I enjoyed most was called What If?
Mm. Now, and Matt Selman, a big comic book fan.
Yeah, people will be aware of What If because Disney Pluses and Marvel have turned it into a TV series. But what they did was... The fine folks at Marvel, Stan Lee, etc., recognised, okay, we've got established timelines and established canon for various characters. But what if? Here's a couple of titles, or a couple of things they had on the covers. What if the Avengers had never been? What if Spider-Man had kept his 6 arms? What if Jane Foster had found the Hammer of Thor? What if everyone knew Daredevil was blind?
It's anthology of interest for Futurama, the What If machine.
Yeah, what if Spider-Man had joined the Fantastic Four?
Yeah.
All this kind of stuff. And it's the stuff that, comic book nerds, and look, nerds
it's fun.
Nerds of any stripes go, wouldn't it be funny if that happened? Wouldn't it be interesting if that happened?
And we all talk just like that.
And yes, of course you did. Well, yeah, I saw myself as a comic book guy on the comment going, and this is why they'll never make a Lord of the Rings movie. Which is not a bad gag in the overall scheme of things. Yeah. But that's how I viewed this episode. It's a little branch off.
It's just fun.
It's
especially
a
if you lived through the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was just cool seeing the Simpsons, who were arguably the most iconic pop culture license of the 90s. Yes. There weren't many more bigger ones than the Simpsons,
not
right?
Really, no. And seeing them viewed through a 90s lens.
Living in the 90s, but not as if the Simpsons were part of just the pop culture world. No, it was just the Simpsons.
If they were actually part of the world.
In the real world, they were the biggest thing in the 90s, arguably, besides... Well, Seinfeld gets referenced here as well. Seinfeld was another big one. It was just cool seeing the worlds collide.
It was.
To pun.
Now,
pun intended.
Pun intended. Now, having said all that, I mean, it's not a great episode in terms... I mean, the story's kind of flimsy. And
I didn't mind it. I thought it felt like a 90s teen... one of those 90s movies where you know where it's going. It's kind of cliche... But it's still a couple of good songs here and there that make you sort of feel things.
Yeah.
Empire Records. It's kind of wacky, kind of silly, but like you still enjoy it because it felt like a time capsule.
I guess
this kind of felt like a 1997 teen comedy, in my opinion.
That's a good way of putting it, certainly. I mean, I guess that it didn't I suppose its job wasn't to reveal anything new about Homer and Marge's relationship or anything like that, or their family dynamic. I suppose it took a little bit of a diversion here and there. And look, some parts actually worked, but a lot of it was just, you're kind of playing the hits here. And I don't know, sometimes we don't mind playing the hits. Sometimes we enjoy seeing, 5 Faces for Radio or Good Faces for Radio.
Well, when they spent a lot of episodes playing the shits.
That's true. Sometimes it's good to get the greatest hits.
Yes. Yeah. I just thought at various times, because this is a Nirvana story, essentially. It's the story of Kurt Cobain's rise and fall through Homer. I was getting Homer's Barbershop Quartet vibes. One of those episodes where you could argue that episode's not canon either, because it's never referenced really again.
No.
I mean, it doesn't fuck around with the timeline, essentially, but it's just one of those things where, wait, they were in this huge, they're like a global phenomenon. It doesn't really make sense because it's never acknowledged again. Where'd all his money go? All that kind of stuff. Here, it's kind of the same. As I said, it alters the timeline where they're in the 90s, but if you are a Beatles fan, you really enjoy that episode, Homer's Barbershop Quartet. But you can still enjoy it even if you're not a Beatles fan. This one here, I feel like I put it on for Elliot the other day, which I was quite shocked with the needle moment, but it obviously gets explained as a joke later on. But he really enjoyed this. But I really enjoyed it because I'm a Nirvana fan and I got the references. I thought he did a really good job in this episode. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, sort of jumping ahead to favourite moments here, but when they kicked into Politically Incorrect, I'm like, not a bad song.
Well, most of them are just parodies of Nirvana songs.
Oh, yeah, very much. They're all parodies of Nirvana and other bands of the grunge era. Oh, God damn it. I just realised that you might hit me with a trivia question And I'm thinking, oh, I should have written this down.
No. I've actually got nothing in my trivia yet. I'll just wing them on the spot.
Oh.
I'm gonna do one now though.
Oh, okay. But I guess I was looking at also through looking at the relationship of Homer and Marge, and I guess it took it in a slightly different direction. We always tend to view Marge as, well, Homer's definitely punching above his weight, and Marge perhaps sidelining her own dreams and her own ambitions, and maybe her own sort of self-worth to some degree by quote unquote settling for Homer. But
I didn't feel that watching this one though. 'Cause I feel like Homer wasn't holding her back really in this. I mean, she had big dreams, but she was going to college. She had big dreams to go to college. She was like, yeah, sure, I'll work hard so you can go to college. He wasn't holding you back. He was working hard so you could go.
That's true. I guess one thing that I was thinking was about how these two complement each other, and I guess in the real original canon Simpsons timeline, how Homer provides Marge with the unconditional love that was maybe missing in her childhood, or the complete attention, complete focus. Like, this woman is the world, and I'm the one who sees it. I'm the one who gets to give it to her. And yeah, Marge is clearly like, this is great, love it. Yeah. Terrible Julie Kavner impersonation. Homer's self-worth gets boosted as a result of like, here's this incredible woman who's actually
in love with me.
Yeah. So
which is how we feel.
All the time.
I wake up every day and go, how? Why? I don't care. I'm going to take it.
I'm just going to ride this train until it goes off the tracks, mainly due to my poor locomotive shift.
Don't let her meet Professor August.
That's the other. I probably would have not been Professor August. Certainly dressed like him.
Okay.
Other than the sandals. The sandals were terrible.
What does he say? To the faculty lounge.
To the faculty lounge. On it. What were those bikes called?
I don't know, but they're
like
so,
reclining bike or something.
Like it's just, they're not pompous, but you're just like, what are you doing?
It's actually better for the environment. It's a bike.
Yes.
It's a bicycle.
Here's the thing. Roles reversed, right? If this was a story, season 19, Homer has a dream. Marge takes up a job to pay for Homer's dream. He then has a manager there who's a hot woman who he falls for, and then leaves Marge to go with the hot woman. We would be, how dare you, what a prick. Here, I'm watching this going, Marge, not a very good person, really? I know that the story is supposed to be that Homer's holding her back, but we've seen how every other couple in Springfield's living at that point in time. They're just the same. I don't think he's holding her back.
Yeah. The other thing is, though, I mean, these characters are going to be, what, 19, 20?
Yeah, if that. Yeah.
So they're kids.
They're kids.
They haven't really worked it out yet.
No.
Just figuring out who she is and what she wants, and sometimes you get led astray by a worldly gentleman who's, down with the matriarchy.
I was getting, have you ever seen the movie Loser? With Jason Biggs?
I haven't, actually. I know of it. It's, by the director of Clueless, and it's, Jason Biggs and Mina Savari from American Pie.
And so clips of that movie were used in the film clip for Teenage Dirtbag. One of the most iconic songs of my childhood, right?
Well, done by your buddy Brendan.
Yeah, so if you haven't listened to one of my favourite interviews I've ever done, check out Brendan Brown, the lead singer of Wheaties. He came on the show and we talked about, I can't remember what episode, I think we just talked about his career in the end.
I think you did.
Yeah, but it was just really, really fun. But that was the first time that I heard the song with the word gun still not cut out because they played it on the soundtrack. It was just in the...
Yeah, I always wondered what he brought to school. I guess it was a gun.
Yes, so it was a gun. And now you can listen to it on Spotify and it's just not cut out. I'm just like, at the time, it was like, you heard the word.
Yeah. Strangely, it's probably more triggering now that
it's bizarre.
Kids are actually bringing guns to school in the US.
I mean, they were at the time as well. That's why they had to cut it out because of the Columbine. But I just remember that movie being... It's the first time I heard the word gun in the Teenage Dirtbag song. And you watch it and you think that the movie is going to be about what the film... Because the film clip has a little story to itself. And it sort of like takes... It's got the actors from... So it's got Jason and... Is it Mina? Right? Mina. Playing roles in the film clip. And you just assume that Loser is going to be the Teenage Dirtbag film clip, but in movie form. That's not at all. It's Jason Biggs is a loser who goes to uni, falls for this girl, but she's having a relationship with her professor.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's why I was just like, this kind of feels like Loser.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I might have to check out Loser one of these days.
It's not that great.
Or maybe, or maybe I could not.
But yeah, overall, I really, really enjoyed this episode. Just purely because being a 90s kid Nirvana fan, references to I think I really like the Seinfeld moment.
That felt a bit on the nose to me, in all honesty. A lot of the references just felt like, Hey, remember the 90s? It felt like, what was that series? We Love the 90s? They had those.
I don't remember that. We love the 90s. Sounds like right up my alley.
Either VH1 or MTV or.
Oh, okay.
They had all those things where, let's get together a bunch of comedians or a bunch of personalities from
Like a
that
top
era.
20
And
thing,
also
yeah.
now, like 20 to 1 or something like that.
And we have to explain who the person is because you have no idea otherwise.
Yeah, so-and-so, comedian. Yeah. Or, they drag out Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray. Or was it Sugar Ray?
Sugar Ray was that early every morning. That's Sugar Ray. Yeah.
Sugar Ray.
Yeah.
I was about to call them Sugar Fly for some reason. I'm like,
they
had was their song Fly?
Fly.
Just want to fly.
Fly. Yeah. Like they have flies in there somewhere, and sugar.
Like flies to sugar. See, I've gone beyond slang. I've reached the age where it's just like, oh, the flies are getting on the sugar. Wave them away. God, how terrible.
Poor man. Like that's where his career's at now. Us talking about the flies to sugar.
Shoe fly.
Sugar fly. Back on track.
But yeah, it did feel a bit that way in some regards. But look, a lot of it I enjoyed. It's certainly not top tier, but it's no E pluribus Wiggum.
Oh, Jesus. It was only up from there, wasn't it?
The only way is up, baby.
What were your favourite moments from the episode?
Like I said, the politically incorrect lyrics, when they kicked in, I'm like, I know they're taking the piss, and what is it? What's the tune?
So I thought it was Lithium, right?
Yeah.
But on IMDb, one of the users says it's the cover of the song, which wasn't one of the more popular songs, but I know it's Frances Farmer Will Have Her Revenge on Seattle, right? I know the song, and I'm like,
is that off Bleach? I don't think it's on Nevermind, and I don't think
it's on Nevermind. No, it's on the one that's sort of just like B-sides and shit. I'm pretty sure, or maybe it is on In Utero. I think it might be on In Utero. Their last
follow up.
Yeah. So, but Bleach.
So Bleach is the EP prior to Nevermind, right?
So, yeah. So you had Nevermind was the first big album. Then you had About a Girl was on Bleach, right?
Okay.
So that was the first one. Where it's like, oh, these guys are pretty good. And then Nevermind came out, boom, and then In Utero, which was a different style of music, but I really enjoyed it.
No, I liked In Utero a lot.
I'm pretty sure Frances Farmer's on that.
Okay.
But I heard this and I'm just like, this just sounds like I'm so happy because today. I thought it was Lithium.
Yeah.
Regardless,
I'm sure
it was. That's the beauty about Nirvana songs, right? You can take Nirvana songs and play them in the form of lullabies, and they sound like really good lullaby songs. They're just really good melodies.
Oh yeah. I mean, or in any way. I mean, Furiosa was kind of a letdown after Fury Road. Sorry, this is a tangent, but
I was like, that's
wait a minute.
We changed.
Did guy just have a stroke? What the fuck's he talking about? I'm heading somewhere with this. Trust me. Furiosa was kind of a letdown after Fury Road.
Yeah.
Not as good, but the trailer has like this. It's not a metal version of. Oh, great! Now I've forgotten that.
Was it a Nirvana song?
Oh
Oh yeah, Madness of the World.
Yeah, but it's a It's
you mean the David Bowie song, who Nirvana covered?
Yes.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah.
So it's originally about.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Zach, cut all this out. I'm absolutely useless.
So David Bowie, it's a David Bowie song,
Yes.
and then Nirvana covered it for their unplugged sessions.
And then it's on the trailer for Furiosa, but in this very sort of not operatic version, but it's like, oh yeah, that kind of works.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, Nirvana, they're pretty good. I took the scenic route to get there, but yeah, Nirvana's not bad. Let me give you another story that's maybe slightly better, or at least an anecdote.
Yeah, go.
No, I mean, I was around, well, of course I was around in the early 90s, but I remember this very, very distinctly because it really felt like a change of the guard.
Yeah.
I was staying with my sister in Hong Kong, and we had MTV in Australia, but this is MTV all day round, as opposed to MTV like a couple of hours on a Friday night. And the songs they kept playing and the clips that were really big were things like Black or White.
Okay.
And particularly the one I remember
Eat this.
I think it was Too Legit to Quit by Hammer.
Okay.
And they had these massive film clips. They were just like these huge extravaganzas. Everything was overproduced to the max, and it just felt like this bubble's about to pop, man. This just feels like entertainment's just getting too big, too unwieldy. And then about a month after me being there, here's this new band out of Seattle called Nirvana. It's like, why MTV? Why have you hired this person? they're terrible. But you hear the opening riff of Smells Like Teen Spirit. And honestly, it feels like, oh shit, we've just reset.
Yeah, the world's changed.
Yeah, we've absolutely gone back to formula.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So that's something I'll never forget about Nirvana, and something I'll always really appreciate about them. It's like they just almost grabbed popular culture by the scruff of the neck and said, Michael Jackson, Hammer, sit the fuck down.
Sugar fly.
Shoe fly. Yeah, make way for Mark McGrath. This has been Guy's Pop Culture Corner.
Yes, that's one thing for me is I always look back and go, it's a shame that I hate that I missed Nirvana because they were done by 93, 94, right? Because Kurt was passed away in 94.
Kurt was definitely
but the band
done
was essentially done by like 93.
Oh,
really.
yeah.
They weren't, they were on the downfall in the sense that they were rocky, they were splitting up, just Kurt wasn't in a good place. You can't really remember much shit before you're like 4 or 5, and I was 5 in 93, so I have memories of my next door neighbor her name was Danielle, and she was sort of like the older kid who would always like, I'd go over to her house and she'd like show me some albums and things like that. I remember she would play Nirvana, but I don't know whether that was whilst I was still a band or whether that was post his death, but my earliest memories of Nirvana are just this cool girl next door playing Nirvana.
One might say you were almost in utero at the time.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so I have no memories of them being a band at the time. My childhood was just the Groovetown. Was it the Groovetown? That's one of my trivia questions, but anyway.
That's one that I'll fail because I've already forgotten them. But that was also a good piss take of just the New Jack Swing and sort of
I'll make love to you. That's a Boyz II Men song?
I think it's Boyz II Men. Yeah.
I feel like they're the default band. When you hear a song like that, you're like, it's Boyz II Men, right?
Very much, slow dance at prom song.
Yeah, yes. What's the other song?
Although
To the end of time.
I think we're singing them in exactly
the
the
same
same way. I don't know. Although we've come to the end of the road.
End of the road, yes.
Yeah.
So,
and you don't really be dancing out with your best girl at prom because it's like, hey, wait a minute. You're going off to college and you're probably going to sleep with that cool
closing
professor.
time.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm going to go work at laser tag.
Yeah.
But good soundtrack all round. And I thought Sadgasm songs were actually pretty good. So
They were.
They're my favourite moments. But also,
I really liked Margarine instead of Glycerine as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just liked them sort of. I think the professor really embodied it, but just the early days of political correctness. Now we have quote unquote woke culture. We had this in the 90s, kids.
Matt just went all the way with it, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Anything that's shaped like a penis is bad.
And you've got audiences in 2024 going, he's onto something. He's got a point.
I also really enjoyed. I thought you might have liked this. It's kind of like a devil's advocate. It's kind of random, kind of silly. It's not as good as devil's advocate, obviously. Nothing will be. But throwing the oxygen. Throwing the thing. It's like, where will I get my oxygen? Look, makes no sense. But
I should have looked this up beforehand, but I don't know if it was in the 90s or the 2000s, but oxygen bars were kind of a thing.
Okay.
Yeah, where you could just go and get like pure H2O and apparently get you, not high, but it's like, walk out feeling, I feel kind of refreshed. Yes. Kind of like a detox in some way.
Comes out of the store. Where will I get my oxygen?
Poor old Crusty. One of my favourites. What did you enjoy?
So I've already gone through mine. So the Oxygen, the Seinfeld, and just the songs in general. Cool. I just thought they were really sweet moments. And just the song choice as well of Bittersweet Symphony was in here, Closing Time. Yeah. Those songs just epitomise the 90s. Not the 90s pop, 90s rock. You know what I mean? Like Bittersweet Symphony was huge from when I was a child.
Yeah.
And they got in trouble because they copied the Rolling Stones, obviously, but... in closing,
felt a bit bad. Was it Richard Ashcroft from?
The Verve. Yeah,
yeah. Because the Stones have already got enough money. give Richard a bone.
But Closing Time for me, whenever you hear Closing Time, you get taken back to 1997, right? It's just you just get sucked. It's like a time capsule. Just you straight back to Closing Time at a nightclub in the 90s.
Yeah. Who's the band? Subsonic.
Yeah, it's something Sonic, isn't it?
Yeah, not Supersonic.
Closing Time. Closing Time is sung by Semisonic. Yeah, I knew it was something Sonic. Yeah, that's a great song.
It really is.
Yeah, but here's my anecdote, right? So we're talking about songs that sounded the same, right? Because we were singing
End of the Road,
blah, blah, blah. So a friend of mine, local musician, Nathan Seeks, I'll give him a shout out, right?
Nathan Seeks?
Seeks.
Seeks.
Seekts. Seeks, right?
Okay.
He has a child. And he
Okay.
Yeah, and his child.
Good for him.
He's a guitarist, like he's a musician, and his son's playing like guitar, sort of just like strumming it. Yeah, he's singing the ABC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then towards the end of it, he sort of like flubs the lyrics and goes, "A now, twinkle, twinkle." Or maybe singing twinkle. Either way, it's like he realizes in that moment, he's like, "Twinkle, twinkle, now I know." Wait a minute.
Oh.
They're the same fucking song. you can see that Cog's going, he transitioned into another song without realizing. He gets halfway through the second verse and goes, "Wait a minute." my whole world's a lie.
There are only 6 songs in existence. And every act of creation is a slight variation from there on.
You can see the pause, and then everyone starts clapping, and you can see in his head he's going, "Don't clap. This is
all a fraud."
What's going on here? But yeah. All right, so let's get into trivia. But before that, actually, Stonecutters.
Oh, okay then.
Because we do love KDG, don't we?
Just as Tony Stark loves his daughter 3000, we love KDG 100.
Yeah, apparently.
And she loves us 100. You see how I got there.
Also, shout outs to our man Andrew Swan, keeping us alive, or keeping the website alive anyway in the Discord. Thank you so much for your support, mate.
Yeah, doing it $50 a time as well.
No, it's Andrew Zer.
That's Andrew Zer. Zach definitely cut that out. The other Zach cut that out was a joke. This is not a joke. Cut that out. Swanee, the master of Discord.
Yes, and Andrew Zer with his $50 support. Absolute legend.
Oh, yeah, of course.
What was it? Zer Andrew.
Zer Andrew.
Elliot J. O'Neill from the Simpsons Index podcast. And the following people are our Stonecutters as well. We've got Jonathan Moleman Ritchie.
What?
Rach Beasley. Jonathan.
I think that's Jordan Moleman Ritchie.
What did I say?
You said Jonathan Moleman Ritchie.
Oh, it's because we've got Jonathan Rossi. Oh, my God. Zach, cut it out.
Making Zach earn his money. Sorry to everybody we're insulting.
Jordan Moleman Ritchie, Jonathan Rossi, Rach Beasley, Stephen Roberts, Sean Devey, Pete Anderson, Timothy Burleson, Andrew Davis, Ryan Dunlap, Kevin Dental Plan, Flood, Shannon Hofer, Bella Winterbank, Jack McFadden, Heath Appleby, Adrian McLeod, Lewis Kavanagh, Mark Treleaven, Reese Roberts, Ginger and Pickle, Preston Murray, Talia Enriquez, Declan Phoenix, Brian McCoy, Josh Hellier, Logan B, James Shepherd, Joe Reedensek, Dave Pretzels McNally, Gavin Lang, Demi Miller, and Isabella Murphy. Thank you so much for supporting us here, being top-tier supporters, Stonecutters at the Four Finger Discount Network. Mwah. the listeners are going, what just happened? Guy blew kisses to the camera.
Yeah. I should have blown him a bit louder.
Yes.
Shall I do it again?
Do it again. Chef's kiss.
Chef's kiss.
All right, trivia time. Hit me with your first question.
I only have a few.
Mm-hmm. You say this a lot. I only ever asked for 3. So
well, that's good. That's a few. That's a dictionary definition of a
that's
few.
That's the requirement, 3.
Okay. What are Professor August's office hours?
3 to 5?
3 to 5 in the
All
PM.
Right. What is the name of the record studio where Homer, Lou the Cop, Lenny and Carla are recording?
Oh, is it Grooveland?
Groovestone.
Groovestone. Speaking of records, Sadgasm's album Desolation Hatchback is released on which record label?
Oh, shit. I didn't even hear that part. What was that?
They had it listed on the MTV music video, and it was through Mucus Records.
Mucus Records. All right. What were the 3 quotes from the Seinfeld moment?
No Soup for You, Master of My Domain, and
like
Newman.
Newman is one. Yeah, it's Spongeworthy.
Spongeworthy.
Yes.
And my final question for you. The dream catcher that Professor August gives Marge is from which tribe?
Oh, no idea.
It's the Laconapain.
Can we just say Professor August? Dirty dog, right?
Oh, one of these guys who, yes, was very big in the 90s and probably prior to. I'm going to say from the 60s to the 90s, but even probably before then. Learned men of experience and worldliness basically just being horn dogs to the young students.
Yeah.
Let me teach you a few things about the world, young lady.
Yeah, it's like,
I have taught you about literature and art, and now it's time for the ways of love.
May I kiss you?
But, yeah, that's the thing, couching it in a very PC way. I mean, these days, apparently, well, I don't know if they still are called soy boys or something like that, but in the 90s, we called them snags, sensitive new age guys. These were people.
That's what I ate from Bunnings on a Saturday morning.
There are good snags that you get from Bunnings.
I was talking about sensitive new age guys. That's what I was eating.
Stop it. You're eating me without my consent. Stop devouring me. But yeah, you would have these guys who would essentially, I really respect you. And at the same time, I really want to jump your bones, but I'm not going to do it without,
Jump your bones.
Yeah. Another phrase from the 90s, but maybe the 80s. Probably just from Martin Lawrence's sitcom, in all honesty. But they would couch their horn dog tendencies in a great deal of respect and admiration for the divine feminine. They're not so basic, just like, babe, I really want to slam.
There comes a point in time in life where you think that's, girls just want you to be, emotional and considerate. If I said that shit to Nicholas, she'd go, fuck off, mate. We getting down or what?
There are times when it's a fine line to walk.
Yeah.
One wants to be respectful,
Nicola would never have bought that shit. Never. Just no.
Oh, yeah, look,
Nicola wants me to be nice, but not be a dickhead.
That's the thing, yes.
Don't be a simp.
Yeah, that's simp. That's the other word, yes. Soy boy is that's very 2008, or shall we say.
Hey, soy boy.
Yeah, simp is the new hotness. But yeah, you got to walk that fine line between being respectful of your romantic partner, but also, goddamn, baby, you're so hot, I can't get my hands off.
It depends if you want to end up in the friend zone or the end zone.
Learned a bit about what happens after 6 p.m. Okay. Those were my trivia questions. Did you ask me one and I just refused to answer?
I'll ask you one more. What was the name of the little toy, the octopus?
Oh, damn it.
When Bittersweet Symphony was playing.
I remember the whole scene. It was quite vivid.
Yeah.
But I do not remember his name. Fuzzy?
It's Cutipus.
Cutipus.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it Shoe Fly? Was it Sugar Fly?
All right, so the original air date of that 90s show, which confusing now when you Google it because you get that shitty TV show.
Because there is a TV show called That 90s.
Yeah.
Did they do that 80s show as well? I think they did.
They did. It went for like one season, maybe two.
Yeah.
Just didn't work.
But they've done that 90s show, but this is an actual direct sequel to that 70s show.
So that 80s show was no reference to it at all to the previous. And this one's like, hey, it's the original guys, but they're older and they've got their own kids now.
Are they all in it? Kutcher's not, right?
I don't think Kutcher made an appearance.
No, but Topher Grace is still the lead, and
well, he's not the lead. He's in it. Yeah, he's in it. Yeah, and Laura Prepon, is it Prepon? Yeah, she's in it. And
do you have any Laura Prepon?
Yeah. So and
does anyone get that joke? Have any of you seen Wayne's World?
And the guy who played
is it Fez?
Fez, yes.
Yeah.
And
that's right, because Danny Marsden is not in it.
We shouldn't laugh.
No. No, we should not laugh.
No.
But Kurtwood Smith, though, is back as dad, right?
Yeah, which was nice to see. Yeah. And Kitty.
And
their grandma and granddad.
Deborah Jo Rupp. Yeah, that's right. Good couple.
Always looked old, Deborah Jo Rupp. Not old in a bad way.
So did Kurtwood Smith, though.
Yeah.
Look at him in RoboCop even. Have you seen RoboCop?
Yes.
What'd you think?
Loved it.
Such a dope movie. Let's not talk about Let 90 Show. Let's talk about RoboCop.
We'll do it movie guys.
We'll do a movie guys on RoboCop.
Yeah. But
you look at him in that though, and he's like, I can see you're not old.
Nah.
But I don't know, you're kind of Gollum-ish. Maybe you're 350 years old. Who knows?
It kind of looks like obviously the guy in Lost is a lot better looking, but Locke.
Oh yeah.
Similar kind of facial structure.
A little bit.
Yeah.
By which I mean not much.
You reckon? We've kind of given up on Lost. We're nearly end of season 2.
Okay.
And I didn't want to say, I thought Nicola was enjoying it. I said, Nicola, kind of feels like it's going nowhere. And she's just like, yeah, I'm getting the same vibes.
It's starting to feel like we've got to branch off and do interesting new shit. There's only so much we can do with this group.
Like, Jack hasn't even been in it for like 5 episodes. It's like, they've just run out of shit to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, backstory. And I was like,
just start watching the X-Files again.
Oh, that's what's happening.
Absolutely. And if you listen to TV Launch Pod, you'll understand why, because Dando and I were just like, oh, what's really good is the X-Files pilot.
Just been sending each other X-Files memes for the last week.
Actually, I did send you one this morning, didn't I?
Yeah. So X-Files, it was the latest episode of TV Launch Pod, where we go, if you haven't checked it out already, we go and we review the pilot episodes of classic TV shows. And this week, it looks like it's going to be How I Met Your Mother.
Although, yes, I am starting to regret actually proposing that as a title, because the competition was news radio. And then Dan and I started talking about news radio yesterday and how, hey, you know who's in this? It's Phil Hartman and, well, Andy Dick. But Joe Rogan, that's interesting.
Dave Foley.
Dave Foley from Kids of the Hall. And who's the lead? Maura Tierney, I think, is the female lead.
I'll tell you right now. Look,
Because if it is, she was in a movie that I watched on the weekend, and she was really good in it.
Vicky Lewis is Beth.
Mm-hmm.
Moratini, yes.
Moratini.
Yeah.
She's in a movie called The Iron Claw, which you might dig.
Stephen Root's in it as well.
Stephen Root's in it, yeah.
What a cast.
What a cast. Nothing but bangers. Except Andy Dick, who should be like...
Yeah.
Oh, he got his head banged into a bar by John Lovitz. So
that is one of my favourite stories of all time.
Yeah, we love it.
I know what would have made that story better if he didn't bang his head into the bar, if he just bitch slapped him. Have you seen the video of a guy, I don't know, he obviously started a fight or whatever, and this guy walks in, kisses the back of his hand, and just bitch slaps him and knocks him clean out.
Oh my goodness.
It's one of my favourite videos ever. This guy's just like talking shit. This guy walks in, doesn't do nothing, goes, kisses the back of his hand, and slaps this guy. It's the kiss first.
The kiss is just incredible.
Yeah, I'm going to show you after we finish recording. It's unbelievable. And this guy just goes down.
So, look, we're probably going to be talking about How I Met Your Mother, which is not bad. It's also got a cast full of really good performers.
Backing it up with news radio.
But I think we're going to have to do something on news radio.
Yes, for sure. I don't know whether you can actually stream it anywhere. I've got it on DVD if you need to borrow it.
I'm probably going to need to borrow it.
Yes.
But I watched this movie called The Iron Claw, which you might like because it's about the Von Erichs.
Yes. Who the relations, I think it's like the nephews or the grandsons, were on AEW this week.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Dando and I did not plan this. We never plan anything, as you can tell.
Zach, edit it.
Zach, make us look professional. But Iron Claw was actually really good.
Yeah.
Although I was watching it with Lou and going, what's the deal with Zac Efron? I was like, someone's been drinking the juice.
Apparently, it's very sort of, what was it, the Bohemian Rhapsody style, where it's like, it's a good story, not really accurate, but a good story.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Apparently the guy who plays Ric Flair is terrible or something.
I don't know enough about Ric Flair.
Okay.
I know of Ric Flair.
He's just a style and profile and woo guy.
They had a lot of woo in there. But no, it was a good movie. Incredibly sad because I said I said to Lou, I don't think things aren't going well for the Von Erichs.
Yes.
And things went really bad for the Von Erichs.
By the way, I love how I said we're gonna get into the start of the episode about 10 minutes ago. I didn't even read the air date out.
What?
What happened?
What's going on here? Well, we haven't done the whole, this is the title, this is the board, there's no board.
No, we haven't. I said, let's get into the review, and then something happened.
Dando, you and I just like talking to
We just spoke for 10 minutes. But yeah, the original air date, January 27th, 2008. Written by Matt Salmon, directed by Mark Kirkland. Guest stars from Weird Al Yankovic, who returned again,
that's right,
and Kurt Loder as himself from MTV News. The couch gag was the family sitting on the couch. The screen zooms out to show them as a painting in a museum with a handwritten caption, "Sessen nest pas une couch gag."
Un couch gag, yes, which is a reference to the famous 1929 painting by René Magritte. I hope I'm not mispronouncing that, called The Treachery of Images.
That's what it says here on the Wikipedia.
It's because, that's...
that translates to "this is not a couch" gag.
Yeah, and the original picture is a pipe with underneath, "this is not a pipe." It's like, but it's a pipe.
I think it is a pipe.
Yeah, at which point Magritte goes, no, it's a picture of a pipe. Yeah, not actually a pipe, picture of a pipe. And a whole bunch of Frenchies just went, what the fuck?
You get that meme of Keanu Reeves from Bill and Ted. Whoa.
It's like, the best one of those I ever saw was like, what if cats have an internet and it's just pictures of us?
That would be so funny.
That's Keanu going.
Humans getting scared.
I feel bad because I just caught myself in the monitor there. I thought I was trying to pull the Keanu Reeves face of like, whoa. And instead I looked like that guy who was in the audience of America's Got Talent or Australia's Got Talent.
Oh,
oh man. Do we have to pivot to video?
We do.
Can we just do audio?
No.
People say, "Guy, you've got a lovely voice, but your face, but a face,
good face for radio."
I mentioned those guys earlier. If you're listening to our most recent episode of Going Down to South Park, I will tell you about the lovely Louise and I went to a ball.
It was her birthday. Give her a birthday message.
Yesterday was the lovely Louise's birthday. Happy birthday, beautiful. I love you so much.
Yes, and also,
you never watched the show.
I don't think I've spoken about this on Four Finger Discount yet, but I may have mentioned how my mum had a cancer scare recently. She had successful surgery. They feel like they've got it all out, and she needs to have scans every 6 months just to do backup checks. So it all worked out well. Thumbs up. Well done, Mum.
Kick cancer's ass.
Yes, exactly right. Just in case I haven't mentioned on this podcast.
So it's good news all round.
It is good news all round.
On Four Finger Discount
yes.
today.
So the episode starts off, and I've got here Christmas episode.
Oh, by the way, just let me wrap up that anecdote. We went to the ball on Saturday night, and the band that was playing was a local cover band called Good Faces or Good Heads for Radio.
Good Heads for Radio. I think it's Good Faces for Radio.
Might be Good Faces for Radio. They were solid.
Yeah.
Did some good tunes. I got out and danced a lot. Lou's good friend Madeline said, we haven't seen Guy like that before. She referred to me as the bald guy. I said, the bald guy? That's pretty obvious. She said, no, the bald guy, a la the Fall Guy. I said, well, that's a pun worthy of Guy Davis himself. Then she hung up. It's like, fuck that guy. All right, now we return you to that 90s show already in progress.
Yes, 40 minutes into the episode.
Oh, my God, you're getting a bonus episode.
So at the start, I'm watching this going, is this going to be a Christmas episode? It's like it's cold. There's no Christmas in this besides the fact that it's cold at the start and they throw the... Well,
there are other things that happen in winter besides Christmas.
Yeah, but there's a Christmas song playing on the what's that thing?
Is that Winter Wonderland? Or?
Yeah, which is a Christmas song.
I guess so.
Yeah, it's a Christmas song.
Sleigh bells ring. Yeah. Well, if we got sleigh bells in it, probably a Christmas song.
Winter Wonderland. So he throws, what is those? It's not a record player. It's something else.
It's a gramophone.
Gramophone, yes. Throws that in the fire, throws all their warm clothes into the fire to keep them warm.
Not a bad gag.
This felt a bit forced with thought global warming would take care of it. Al Gore could do nothing right. I don't know. I just feel like Homer isn't smart enough to make those kind of jokes, but they like to sneak.
They like to show how politically astute they are.
Yeah. But
you shouldn't be saying this when Matt's going to be on the show. Dad, Matt Selman thinks he's so smart. Matt Selman, you're so smart.
So season 19 Simpsons can't go without having a list gag. Bart gets magazines out. Popular Science. Red Book. Big and Tall Halloween costume catalogue. And then it's the memory box. So I'm just like, why does every episode have one of these moments now?
Yeah.
It's literally every moment, every episode now.
Well, this feels like the rise of the internet as well, when listicles were a big thing.
Yeah, true. But season 18 was all Sideshow Mel. We haven't had much Sideshow Mel season 19, have we?
You don't hear me complaining.
Now it's lists. It's like they have the writer's room every year has their little fad.
It's always going to be something new, isn't it, Dando?
Yeah.
You're always going to find something to take issue with. Yes. Can't you just enjoy stuff?
So it's the memory box. He's going to throw in Marge. Don't do that. And Lisa finds that she's got a college degree. What do you mean? How do you have a college degree? I thought Dad blessed you with the unplanned miracle of me, as Bart says. And she tries to... there's a Bart here tries to explain the logic of... Was it Lisa?
I think it was Lisa.
If we're 10 and it's 2008.
Yeah, Lisa does the maths.
Yes, so basically...
It's actually not a bad side gag that she just does this really elaborate kind of mathematical equation. It's really just, you could have done a little long division.
2008 minus 10. Yes.
Pretty much.
Yes. But basically, this is Matt's way of explaining, look, the timeline doesn't make sense. Yeah. Let's just have some fun with it.
Yes.
And don't take it seriously.
What if?
Yeah, what if, yes. So Marge and Homer, they've moved into the 90s now. So
they're talking about the 90s when, as Homer points out, young people did believe in their dreams. It really was a kind of thing where it's, you can work your shitty minimum. Well, frame of reference, my age corresponds with the decades pretty well in that I was born in 1969. So.
You're in your 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I entered the 1990s as a fresh-faced 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And this is the time when you were becoming who you are.
You were Homer.
I was essentially Homer and remain so to this day. Yeah, but it was like, the 90s felt like, times are a little bit tight in some ways, and, these the problems that always exist, but it really did feel like, wow, anything's just about possible. We got this thing called the internet. You can communicate with just about anyone in the world, learn all these different things. Fantastic.
Well, it's like we grew up, I was a 90s child. We had S Club 7 saying, don't stop, never give up.
It was the anthem.
But I did like that Bart had never heard of the 90s as well, even though he was probably one of the biggest icons of the 90s.
Very good point.
Yeah. So Marge and Homer were moving into their apartment, and I think it was called Springfield Palace. It was just various apartments, or was it Palace?
Or was it Place? Because they were doing a bit of a riff on Melrose Place.
Oh, of course they were, because he said that because of Melrose Place, we had, yes.
By the way, if you are interested in the 90s at all, get on YouTube and just look up the Melrose Place opening credits.
Never watched it. I just know Heather Locklear was in it.
She was a bit later, but because it initially was like, we're going to do like not a serious show about, young, well, it was going to be a grown-up version of Beverly Hills 90210. It's the same guy who created it.
Okay.
But it was going to be, we're young and gorgeous and we're trying to make it in LA. And after a while, it just became like a weird soapy.
Who was the guy that made it?
Darren Star.
Star, okay. Yeah. Who was the Spelling? Aaron Spelling.
Aaron Spelling. Oh, well.
What was she in?
Tori Spelling was in 90210.
Tori Spelling.
But Aaron Spelling was like the executive producer of those.
Okay, yes.
Or was he?
Because he had something to do with those shows, didn't he? Yeah.
Now, whether it was just the Tory connection or he actually gave him a little backing, because, he was one of the biggest names in TV.
Yeah.
I can't remember, but she was like one of the original Nepo babies, because you're looking at the cast of 902 and going, wow, Luke Perry, wow, Shannon Doherty, rip to both, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Jason Priestley, all these good-looking people. And Tori Spelling.
Tori Spelling, she was attractive?
Ish. Attractive-ish.
Yeah, have to be
Attractive adjacent.
Look at us being all 1990s, judging people by their looks.
I know, this is not very 2024 of us.
But basically, so they're moving into the apartment. Kirk here, still a simp for Luann. Luann, always DTF, but not a good wife, I don't think.
No. And also disrupting his
6-hour
internet download.
Yes, because he's going to get her photo of her cheating on him. Marge and Homer are eating noodles, ramen noodles.
Yes, but they taste like cup of noodles or something.
Yes, noodles.
You make top rub and they taste like cup of noodles.
Yes.
Again, one of those things was like, you know what? It's cool. I've worked my minimum wage job. I've got enough to get a pack of Marlboro Lights and a pack of Maggi 2-minute noodles. I'm set.
Now, do you think they had Marge here say that she doesn't want to have sex until she's married, right? Mm-hmm. So that you would never think that she's having sex with the professor?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I mean, I thought maybe it was the one concession to the original timeline.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's branched off a little bit, but now it's going to go back into the OT, so to speak. But that's a really good point about, oh no, she's keeping herself pure, so to speak.
Because if she was sleeping with the professor, you'd be like, oh, Marge.
Oh, Marge. Yeah. What are you, Luann?
Yeah. So I think that was just sort of a little plot point. So you wouldn't think that she's sleeping with the professor. Maybe, I don't know. So now there are Groovestone Records and Homer's in an inoffensive urban light hip hop smooth groove band. I'll make rub to you. What's I'll make rub to you mean?
Well, wasn't the song I'll Make Love to You?
Yeah, but he said I'll make rub.
Okay, well, I suppose it's probably even sexier.
I'll make rub to you?
Yeah. It just sounds like I'll Make Love to You.
Yeah, I guess so.
I was trying to... Colour Me Bad. That was the band that I was thinking of. When were they?
I don't know. I never heard of them.
Have you never heard of Colour Me Bad?
Nah.
They had a song called I Want to Sex You Up.
I Want to Sex You Up. Okay.
But they seem like a very united...
I know. I Want to Make You Sweat. I know that song. La 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 long.
I'm going to have to do a bit of Googling on Colour Me Bad, which is a sentence that no one has ever said in the last 10 years.
It's funny how there's so many songs from my childhood that I put on now for the kids to listen to. And I go, I don't think I want my kids singing this. Like, boom, 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 I want you in my room. It's like,
yeah.
Oh, shit.
Wait a minute. All these popular songs aimed at teenagers are about sex.
What about the Backstreet Boys? Am I sexual? And you're like, yeah. You're like, we were fucking 8.
Have you watched the documentary on Lou Pearlman on Netflix called Dirty Pop?
No, but I saw the start of it. It's like, oh, now I'm going to have to watch it.
Yes. Otherwise, guys are going to be talking about, he's the bad boy of the group, Airspace. Yeah. Sign that on your bingo card, folks. Guys talking about Jon Stewart on SNL doing the Lou Pearlman thing again. Colour Me Bad. Years active, 1985 to 1998. Then 2010 to 2019. Now 2022 to present. So they keep taking a break.
Help. What is it? Was it Help? I Need Money? What was that song, The Simpsons?
I'm hungry, need money. Or something like that. Again, unified theory of Four Finger Discount. They made a cameo appearance as themselves on a 1992 episode of Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh, there we go. Full circle.
Yes, indeed. Nominated for 2 Grammys, won 2 Soul Train Music Awards, and were nominated for 5 others. Their music appeared in New Jack City and Glee. That's 2 great tastes that taste great together. Best known for their singles, I Want to Sex You Up and All For Love. By the way, Colour Me Bad had 2 D's in it. Colour Me Bad.
Oh, yeah, you got to be bad.
Yes, indeed. Okay. You guts to sass it. This has been your history lesson on New Jack Swing in the 1990s with your host, Guy Davis. We now return you to that 90s show.
Marge says that the relationship is about to unravel, though, like Kevin Costner's career, due to her getting into college. Yeah.
Bit harsh.
That feels like one of those jokes where it's just like shoehorned in a little bit, doesn't it?
It was a bit, although, Costner's career in the 90s was a fascinating series of peaks and
valleys.
valleys.
And he's revived now.
But then not, because Horizon, he was on Yellowstone, one of the biggest shows on TV. Yeah. He decided to take all his money, mortgage some of his many properties, and I'm going to self-finance my Great American Western that nobody went to see. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to make it in 4 parts. No one went to see the first part, and now Netflix is like, we'll pick up the rest for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
Bad luck for Kevin. Although I find it kind of hard.
What a world.
What a world. Oh, no, Waterworld. All right. Where were we?
Marge is basically, so she's got into college here, and Homer's kind of annoyed, and she's like, it's going to be an expensive dream. And he goes, you know what? You deserve it. So he says, I'm going to go.
He makes a dumbass joke about college and collage, which
Yeah.
I did not appreciate.
So Homer says he's going to go make money so she can pay for her college by going back and getting a job with his dad. And Grandpa owns a laser tag, which were big in the 90s and are still... Kids still enjoy them now, but they're not like the thing anymore. They feel dated now. Like, you playing laser tag, it's like, this feels like when you pull out the PlayStation 1.
Yeah. Do they have laser tag at Laser Quest in Geelong?
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Okay, then.
I only ever did it like twice.
I think I maybe did it once. And my nephew Rory actually had like a home game of laser tag.
Yeah, I used to have them as well.
Yeah. I don't know.
The blue thing to strap around your chest.
Yeah, and it would give you a little shock.
Mine didn't get a shock. Mine was just...
Mine gave me a shock.
Oh, really?
Like malfunctioned or something.
I was shocked when I got shocked.
I was just like... yeah. Didn't see that coming.
But mine would just make like a beeping sound. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so anyway...
Yeah, the pussy version.
Yes. So, he says to Grandpa, I need the money. What do you need the money for? None of your business. They give me a job at your business. And Homer turns off the machine. The kids all beat him up at Laser Quest. Anyway, Marge then arrives at college, and she's loving just the scenery and just the vibe. And comic book guys there, as you were saying earlier, sitting on the grass. And that's why Lord of the Rings will never be turned into a film until, 3 years from now?
Yeah, I'm wondering if...
Well, so this is meant to be a parody of Cobain, but this doesn't feel like just an early 90s parody. This feels just like the 90s decade parody, isn't it? Seinfeld wasn't around. Oh, I guess it just started when Nirvana was a thing.
It's funny, my theory on decades is, you always talk about they're always broken into halves.
Well, for me, the 90s started in 94. That's all I can remember. I can't remember before that.
That's the thing. The first half of the 90s feels very different to the second half of the 90s, just as the first half of the 80s feels very different to the second half.
When you get to like 90s playlists, you can tell when a song was early 90s, when a song was late 90s.
Absolutely, you can, yeah.
I feel like with the 80s, though, do you feel like the 80s just sounds like the 80s?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
No?
No. And when, you've got sort of what we commonly view as 80s nostalgia, it's all very neon and day glow and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's from 85 onwards.
Yeah, okay.
The first half of the 80s is very bland. It's basically bleed over from the 70s.
So, really? Okay.
Oh, yeah, no, there's a lot of good stuff in there, but it's more sort of beige and brown.
When was, obviously this is not an iconic song of the 90s, for me it is, but the song from Foot Trot Flats.
Oh,
Dave Dobbins.
Slice of Heaven, that's 80s.
Is that late 80s?
Yeah, because I remember dancing at it at my...
What a fucking song, right?
Yeah, my high school prom.
My love shines. That's one of the songs where if it comes on, I have to listen to it and I smile the entire time.
Yeah, Dave Dobbin of DD Smash.
And the Herbs. And in the film clip's just him and all these guys just in a pub, just dancing.
Yeah, just dancing.
What a song.
I think I picked up a couple of dance moves from the Slice of Heaven.
Slice of Heaven.
Good song.
Yeah, great song. Yeah. All right, enough about the 80s and the 90s. Let's go. We should talk more about the 90s because that's what this episode is. So she's got into college and she's really enjoying the vibe of everything. And I like to start. So she goes to the cultural history lecture. If you bought all your required textbooks, throw them away. That just sums up university and school in general. Almost.
I'm guessing there are a lot of professors and teachers who got into the profession because they saw Robin Williams at Dead Poets Society. It's like, throw away those textbooks. It's time for me to teach you the actual facts.
I know all the shit. I'll teach you life.
Yeah, you think you're here to learn about literature. You're actually here to learn about life.
Speaking of Robin Williams, a clip came up on social media the other day. I think it was Twitter.
Oh, was he talking about Trump?
No. It was from Good Will Hunting, where he was talking about how he misses his wife's farts.
Oh, yeah.
What a fucking scene.
Really good.
It's like, they're the things you remember. He goes, spent all these years with it, but that's the shit I remember.
Yeah, that she farted so loud she woke up the dog.
Yeah, that's the shit you remember. Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the scene where they sort of zoom in on Will, on Matt Damon, and the camera's sort of shaking. And that's because the camera operator was laughing so much. Was he okay? Yeah, and Gus Van Sant, who directed, said, keep it in, it works. Yeah. And it really did. Yeah. Robin Williams, what a lord.
The world's never been the same. It's kind of like Phil Hartman. Comedy was never the same, really. No. And then as soon as Robin Williams left the world, it didn't feel the same anymore.
Yeah. It didn't lose like a foundational block, but it felt like a piece of the puzzle's missing. And the puzzle's not going to be quite complete again. You can maybe, shape someone to be similar to, but no, one of a kind, one of one.
So he's basically Professor August here luring Marge in with the feminist, anti-male.
Well, yeah, with his... Yeah, very, very enlightened worldview.
Yeah, and he says fall semester's going to get very interesting because he sees Marge and they put really ugly people next to her to make her look even more attractive, I think, from an animation perspective. But the first thing she learned every president. First thing she learned every president was a straight white man. Oh yeah, so she's talking to Homer about everything she learned in class, and did you know every president was a straight white man? It's like, okay, I see what this guy's doing.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a play on how naive you are when you first get your first taste of sort of like quote unquote higher learning.
Yeah.
And you're, oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's been in front of our eyes the entire time.
Yeah. It's like, oh, wow.
Did you know? Yeah.
What's this? I've forgotten which pill does what in the Matrix. Blue pill puts you back in the Matrix, right?
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, because it's all been sort of...
I'm going back in the Matrix, mate.
Oh, 100%. How many times have we said...
I am Cyrus.
Joey Pants has just got the right idea.
Yeah.
Give me a rare steak and, I want to be famous. Not super famous, but just famous enough that Have you heard that story about Kevin Bacon?
Which
about
one?
how recently he had like a makeup job and like disguises so he could go out as not Kevin Bacon.
No.
And he was like, it sucked.
Really?
No one was nice to me. I had to stand in line for coffee like a chum. And it made sense because he's been
I had to be normal.
He's been pretty much famous his entire life. Well, not his entire life, but
But he's almost like a meme now, isn't he?
very much so. But from about the age of 20 or
Yeah,
so.
was he in the original Friday the 13th?
13th he was, yeah. And he's, in his mid-60s now. So that's 2/3 of your life that you've just been, hey.
And a person who people want to get a photo with and is cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
as opposed to,
I got a photo of Kevin Bacon. It's like, that's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
But not everyone's taking photos of him all the time. It's like, oh, what you mean? I can't leave Dunkin' Donuts with a coffee and a couple of bear claws like Ben Affleck. Anyway, I don't know how we got to that story, but
Well, we're talking about Kevin Bacon. How do we get to Kevin Bacon?
that's what I was more curious about. What are the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon in the story?
Marge was falling for the professor. Oh, she's learning. I don't know.
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams. Nah, we'll never get there.
Yeah. So let's get back to where we were. It's a lot like this episode of That 90s Show. That was just a what-if tangent.
Yes, it really was.
It's not official canon of Four Finger Discount.
So they're at the front of the university. This is where she makes the sound. And he was like, that's a weird sound. Never heard that sound before.
Oh, yeah.
Are you sick? And it's no, she's falling for the professor after one class. So now we cut back. And we have a really weird sort of like retcon here with like the gas man trying to fix the gas. Like, this is what's going on here. They're telling a story back in the Springfield house. And it just felt like a bit of a random moment. Like they were mean to the gas man.
Yeah, I felt sorry for Gas Man.
Yeah.
Just a monkey man trying to make the gas flow.
So Marge says that, I was falling for my professor more and more. And the guy just keeps putting down white males. It's just white male, put down. Marge is just getting sucked in because of this. Yeah. And then Marge is studying.
We did some good things. We do this podcast.
Exactly, yeah. Marge is now studying whilst...
that makes up for so many things.
This is where he's watching Seinfeld.
Right.
And he sort of... you're right, he sort of shoehorns in all the gags, all the quotes. But that's kind of what people were doing in the 90s. They were quoting Seinfeld a lot, weren't they? But The Master of My Domain... We talked about it on the episode, the contest of Talking Seinfeld. Check it out if you haven't already. Where that didn't feel like a quote that anyone would naturally say in real life. But people were trying it, weren't they?
Oh, yeah. Well, have you seen the Oodie that's just got all the Seinfeld quotes on it? Lou's son has one.
Okay, yeah.
Well, it's got, yada yada and no soup for you and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, for a show that was pretty smart and very, well constructed and well put together and well acted, it did seem really reliant on catchphrases, or it did seem to want to make fetch happen.
It's like once the first one picked up, they went, "Oh, this is something.
This is something we can maybe make T-shirts out of this."
Yeah, yeah.
Do we do merch? Do we do some merch? We got Uncle Rico.
We should definitely do some Four Finger Discount merch. Would you guys be interested in some Four Finger Discount? Probably mugs, right? Coffee mugs.
Yeah, or like my head is like a pin pal. Something. I think mugs. Yeah.
But Homer here, this is what she says, I wish you would support my comments and my beliefs. And he's like, I worked really hard all day to pay for your education. I just want to sit down and watch fucking TV.
This is my support.
Yeah, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm pro Homer here. Homer's done nothing wrong. He was keeping it back. It doesn't work in this story. He wasn't really supportive at first, but then he worked hard to pay for education.
It's misunderstandings and just blind spots on the part of, I guess, both of them. When you're at a stage where it's like, oh, I'm learning so much about the world and everything else, and I found these interesting things to say or interesting ways of looking at the world, and I want to share it with the one that I love, and they're kind of like, I'd really just rather watch the footy. Yeah, and it's kind of like
that's why you get your wife to like the footy as well.
Yeah, am I actually with the right person? And and on the other hand, I was like, really, I'm busting ass at Laser Quest to
pay
for college. Yeah,
so he can own you.
Yeah,
you're a thing.
Yeah, that's Professor August.
We'll get to that.
Sleazy guy.
So he's got marks all over his stomach and his back because the kids keep shooting him in the laser tag, and she's rubbing his back for him, and she realizes that she's having visions of him being Professor August
with his corduroy blazer.
Yeah. Homer and Marge now in bed with closing time playing.
That was a poignant kind of thing, because I mean,
no lines were needed.
Yeah. You and Nicola, of course, have a wonderful relationship, I'm sure you have never had moments where you've been lying in bed and you sort of have your backs turned to one another. It's like, not that, this person doesn't understand me, but you may have had moments where we're not on the same page about this. I feel a little distant.
Well, Nicola and I have a rule.
You never go to bed angry.
Never go to bed angry.
Yeah. I've done the same. But every once in a while you might wake up, I hope she doesn't leave me. Or something.
He's like, she's still there. Thank God. But Closing Time is just a great song.
But
for that kind of moment.
It's a great musical accompaniment to that.
Yeah. Things aren't going well, though, for them at all. Meanwhile, August is talking up her art, and he says, you can call me Stefan. So he's just making it more personal now. Mm-hmm. And Homer has a little message here. I miss you. And he somehow turns that into a negative. I'm like, fuck you.
Fuck you, man.
Yeah, this guy's working hard. I miss you. He's like, the I is this, he's the subject or whatever. Yeah. Basically, he owns her. You're
Homer is the subject, Marge is the object.
Yeah, he's only paying it so he can say that he owns you. And Homer comes looking for Marge at university, and they all make fun of his pronunciation of, is it Wham? They call him a townie anyway. Go back to town, townie.
Does he he mispronounces the surname of the artist.
I think it's the first name.
Because it says Joan. Now,
Joan? I thought it was...
And then they say Juan.
Wham. Oh, anyway. But, they're all making fun of him. Homer walks in, and she's having a chat with August with the Dreamcatcher and whatnot. This is nothing like Animal House. I smashed a beatnik's guitar, and he sued me successfully. But Homer can't sing R&B anymore. He's downtrodden. He feels like Marge's going to leave him. He's lost his girl, even though he's worked really hard for her. So he turns the R&B into guitar rock, utilizing as a needless grunge energies or something, whatever.
But it's great because the word grunge is actually part of the acronym.
Yes, yeah.
Grunge.
So now they're Sadgasm, and they sing politically incorrect. Everyone's like,
what?
Oh my. And I've got here, it sounds like lithium, but apparently it's Francis Farmer. Anyway,
okay.
it's catchy, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we get a Back to the Future reference here. Hey, it's your cousin, Marvin Cobain.
It's funny, we're talking about political correctness and all that. I mean, some people take Back to the Future to task, but it's like, oh, so you're saying Chuck Berry didn't invent rock and roll, that there was actually a white man that did it? Oh.
You mean John Lennon didn't write Imagine? Forrest Gump did?
But you've got people, very online people who will say, that Back to the Future's pretty racist. And also, kind of sexist. And all this
so they're saying a white guy wrote it. Okay.
It's like, can't we just enjoy Back to the Future? Such a good movie.
But Marge leaves for the professor. She sees the band, and he basically what is it? He says he walks up and rants something.
This isn't entertainment. This is genocide or something.
I don't know. He have a bit of a little tiz here, and she leaves with the professor because I think he says something along the lines, and the guy's like, "I can do that," and she just jumps on his bike and rides off. And I was like, "Marge, what are you doing?" And then the girl walks up and says, "Can you sign my boobs?" And he writes, "Marge, come back." And I just think they painted Homer as really sympathetic throughout this entire episode.
No, we didn't get any jerk-ass Homer in this.
Well, we're designed to feel bad for Homer, because that's what I was getting. I was feeling bad for Homer the entire time.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Because this guy's just swooped in and Marge has fallen for it. It's just weird.
She fell under his spell.
Yeah.
His academic spell.
We come back from commercial, and Mum, why'd you stop talking for 2.5 minutes? Being in the commercial break.
Felt like 20.
Yes. And then they're splitting everything up, and she's getting all the good stuff. He's getting like the typewriter. She's getting the computer or whatever.
He gets the well, he won though, because he got the LPs, but she got the CDs.
Yes, but what was the stock? So
he got Enron.
Enron, and she got Microsoft.
Microsoft a big winner.
Yeah.
Enron, absolute disaster.
Yes. Then they say who gets Cutie Puss, and he breaks it, and then Bittersweet Symphony plays, and it's another good use of music, wasn't it? Yeah. So then he goes to Moe's, which is now a cigar bar, which apparently was a big thing in the 90s, cigar bars.
Yeah.
I don't really recall, wasn't old enough. Marge is now going on tour with Professor August to Springfield's most non-wheelchair friendly restaurants, because he's just a douchebag. That epitomizes his character, right?
Yeah, it felt a little much for me, but then, we're talking about a 24-minute sitcom episode. Of course, we're going to sort of really go for the gusto when it comes to stereotyping and whatnot.
And we get the oxygen gag here as well, which I liked.
That was true. Yeah.
But Homer sings Shave Me, which is a parody of Rape Me.
Yes.
And we're now at August's house, and Sadgasm comes on the radio. Basically, he's like, I watch sports too, and he says this big melodramatic thing about the end zone or whatever.
Is this where he says this isn't entertainment, this is genocide?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because the Patriots are in the Redskins end zone.
And it's like, come on,
actually,
dude.
pretty funny gag, if you ask me.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, but it's like, come on, you dude.
Oh, yeah, this is exactly where I've written it. Okay, they're overdoing the professor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really laying on the political correctness aspect of it really heavily, but also there's the underlying smarminess and douchiness.
Yeah, and it's the first time he has a go at Marge too, because she puts on the radio and Sadgasm comes on. He goes, "No, I want whale songs." And it's like, oh shit. So he asks, "Can I compliment your appearance? May I approach you for a kiss? Will it be harassment or willing consent?" Or willing consent. And she's just like, "Just kiss me, fuck's sake." It's very much Nicola. If I said to Nicola, "Can I?" I always do say, like, when you're going to kiss Louise, do you ask not for consent, but is this like a mutual eyesight? Like, okay, we're going for a kiss here, or do you go, "Can I kiss you?"
Well, now it's just smooching on up.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I kissed.
What did you say? The bones? Jumping the bones?
The first time I kissed, I said, I didn't say, "Can I kiss you?" I said, "I really want to kiss you."
Yeah.
She said, "Well, proceed."
Too bad. No deal. Who are you? Who dis?
and I'd rather be going out with Brad Pitt, but we can't have everything we want.
Who are you? Oh, I'm Guy Davis. You are? Can you remember the first words you said to Louise?
In person?
Yeah. What was it? Was it a blind date? What was it?
We met on Tinder.
Ah, it was Tinder. That's right. Yeah.
And we talked online for about a week. I think I don't know if we chatted on the phone at all. We may have.
See, with video now, you can actually put the hand to the ear. It actually makes sense.
That's right. What are you talking about? When we met in person, the first thing I said to her was, "I thought the photo of you was going to be the prettiest thing I saw all day."
Nice one.
And she was gorgeous.
Nicola walked in on me in a toilet. So I was at,
Tell me more.
We had a mutual friend's party. It was the 30th of April because it was the same night that Prince William and Kate got married.
Oh, okay.
Because Nicola said she was watching, because she came back from Perth that night, and she was watching that on the television in the airport before she came back. A friend of mine, Phil, who I've mentioned on the show before, my best man at my wedding, he said, "We're having a party at so-and-so's house. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "I just finished radio." I was like, "I'm pretty tired." He's like, "No, come. So we get there, and Nicola had a mutual friend who knew this person. So I'd never met Nicola before. Mm-hmm. She'd been in Geelong for like a month before she went to Perth for a visit. I'd never met her during that time. She came back the first night. She came to that party. The toilet was in a bathroom. I used the toilet, was walking out. She walked in. For first words Nicola ever said to me, she's like, "Fuck, you're a cutie, aren't you?" That's it. Since then, we've spent 2 nights apart together at most. So we've just been together ever since.
Dando was rewriting history. Nick's first words were, in fact, "Light a match." That's a very sweet story.
Yes. And then I very rarely made moves on girls. Like, it was just, but Nicola's like, I remember saying to Nicola, and I was on the radio, but I never like used that as like a pickup line. But I was just like, "Oh, I'm a DJ, I'm on the radio." And she was like, "Bullshit." I'm like, "No, I've got like the logo on my ass." And she was like, "Well, prove it." And I like dropped my pants in the street to prove that I had the tattoo. I've got a tattoo on my ass of my radio show logo. Lost a bet during the show. Right. So, and I showed her that, and she was just like, "Oh, okay, cool." But
one might say, "Won a bet."
But then that's the thing. I was just like, I never tried it with anyone else. But like for Nicola, for some reason, my brain was just like, "No, you got to try it with this person."
Yeah, when you know, you know.
Yeah, it was just subconsciously. It was like, "No, keep going, keep trying."
It'll pay off.
Yes, and it did pay off. But the guy's just being a douchebag here. Asks to compliment the appearance, gets the smooch on with Marge, but not having sex because she's not having sex until marriage. We've established this already. Homer now hates being famous, every rock star's dream of hating being famous, and Weird Al Yankovic is covering "Shave Me" with his own song. And apparently, Kurt Cobain said, "I never felt famous until Weird Al covered my song." But as Homer says here, he who is tired of Weird Al is tired of life. I'm not gonna lie, I was never like huge on Weird Al Yankovic songs.
No, I think I
appreciate everything he's done, but I was
respected the game more than actually
100%.
enjoyed it. Yeah, it's like, well, you're the one who's good at this, aren't you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're kind of
you've made it a thing.
Yes.
It's like when you get all these kids bands, and it's like, no, you're not the Wiggles. The Wiggles made this a thing.
Yeah.
He's like the Wiggles of that genre. So Homer hates being famous, of course. So Marge and August are now at the lighthouse, but it's a fellow-centric technocracy violating Mother Nature. It's like
they're just tall so ships can see them.
No, everything penis-shaped is bad. And she sees a wedding, and this is where it really
certainly the case with my penis.
This is where it really unravels. So she sees a wedding. Oh, it's a wedding. Or slavery is alive and well in Springfield. And you're like, shut up.
Yeah, they're overdoing this guy. Yeah, they're over egging this particular.
She says,
wedding.
"I want to get married one day." Statements like that make people think that women are still stupid, and she calls him associate professor jerk, and he takes it to heart. And he says he only got denied tenure because department head was an idiot, and then. Professor, was
Also,
kinda,
you could have made that a gag,
Yeah.
as opposed to just a line.
yeah, the sort of his story wrapping up felt kind of meh. I think it would have been better if. I guess it was nice to see him get beaten up a little bit, wasn't it? Because he'd been a douchebag.
True.
When Marge sees Homer on the TV singing Margarine, and he loves me so much even after what I did. And Sadgasm, the news report that they've broken up, and Homer's holed himself up in his mansion because he's got an addiction for narcotics. Kurt Loder reporting from the 90s. Then Marge goes to rescue him, and he walks in and there's a needle in his arm, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that's confronting.
Yeah, but it turns out that he's like, I need it. No, he did need it. It was insulin. I thought that was a nice little bait and switch.
Too many frappuccinos.
Yes. He really did need the injection, so he's now in hospital. She asked him to take her back, and they're worried about what might be in the horizon. We've got reality shows, Britney Spears, a lot of home runs all of a sudden in the baseball, and a president. But
I'm wondering if that's around the time of the doping scandal.
of course it is, yeah. Steroids in baseball, yeah. And they talk about the president who would never lie. Never, never, never. So now they're at the mini golf course. Now I feel like this was Matt Salmon's way of trying to bring it back to the history that we remember of when they first did it in the putt golf. Yeah, mini putt. So they go to the mini golf course in the castle, I think it was. The castle was at the windmill.
I think it was the windmill.
Windmill or the castle, either way. And the 90s are drawing to a close. Looking forward to the Sydney Olympics, which is the Olympics are on right now. And the professor did teach me one lesson, that homie is where my heart is. And then I thought it was a sweet ending. The professor from the unis outside calling them townies again. But I thought, all in all, why would you hate this episode? I understand the gripe with the continuity, but I think they established at the start that this is just a bit of fun.
This is damning it with vain praise. It's too inoffensive to hate.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
there are ways to improve it, certainly.
As a 90s kid, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was just fine.
Yeah.
I'd give it a 3 out of 5.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. I enjoyed this more than most of the episodes we've had in season 19 so far. So, anyway, I wonder if the outrage came from E Pluribus Wiggum as much as what this one, because this one was just like absolutely just like, how dare you, like Principal and the Pauper levels, and I'm thinking,
they were just how dare you at Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, I could understand, but
yeah,
overall,
I don't get that.
No.
E Pluribus Wiggum are far more of a debacle than this. This was a perfectly pleasant. I won't say non-event, but a trifle.
Matt Salmon, Mark Kirkland, well done. You're not bad at your job.
You do Simpsons good.
What did you learn from this episode, Mr. Davis?
That the woke culture of the 2020s is really just the new Coke to the original.
What do you want, the snags?
Yeah, sensitive new age guys. Yeah, it's really just a rebrand of full throttle 90s political correctness.
I miss when ad breaks were only 2.5 minutes.
Have you been? You mentioned the Olympics earlier. Have you been watching the?
I did the $15 thing.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so you don't have to put up with any ads.
Ads.
Okay.
Peasants.
Lou and I were watching it
Townies.
on Channel 9, and we're seeing like
same ads all the time.
And also, it's like I think the problem with commercial TV is actually the commercials. They've got these ads for Telstra. I'm naming names, folks. And then the weird sort of stop motion animation. I get the feeling that someone at the ad agencies watched a lot of Wes Anderson's like, we're going to be sort of weird and quirky and a little bit oblique, and you're not quite sure what we're advertising and how we're going about it. I was watching it going, fuck off. I own shares in Telstra. I might sell them because of these ads.
You own shares?
The only shares I own. I get a dividend of something like $50 a quarter. Ka-ching. So yeah, but
Take my money.
I ain't saying I'm gold digger. Anyway, but yes, I do own shares in Telstra, but after these ads, I'm thinking maybe not.
Yes. Yeah. Watching the 10 Play app, which is Channel 10 here in Australia, we watch Have You Been Paying Attention on there? Mm-hmm. Because I'm not watching it in standard definition on Foxtel, and we don't have an aerial on our TV, so we can only stream. And
so you're spitting like you're making some grand gesture. It's like, couldn't do it anyway.
So we watch it through the app, and the ads are just, every ad break is the same, like 4 or 5 ads.
Yeah,
it's
and
like,
often they'll play the same ad back to back.
Yes, and I'm like, we just saw this ad. Why is this on again? Mm-hmm. I like Sexyland, but still.
I was already attending. I was already a patron of Sexyland. You don't need to do the hard sell.
It did become like a little in-joke for us, though, because the Sexyland ad had a sort of like a big sort of scale of society. There was like a drag guy, a drag queen. There was just a young white straight couple. There was an older woman. And Nick and I, the in-joke for us was always just like, what do you reckon she's buying? What do you reckon she's getting up to tonight? Just this old lady's just like, holding a box. You're like, what's in that box? But anyway.
Write in. Yeah, let us know what's in... To quote Brad Pitt in Seven, what's in the box?
Enough about ads. If you could support us on Patreon, that would be much appreciated.
We'll do that too. But if you, we'd like to know what you think is in the Sexyland box for the old lady.
But this is coming to the end of our podcast. We'll be getting into the new names, but we'll have to be saving for the patrons. Just when we do the video here, we don't want to have to be filming all the new names here. Or do you reckon the patrons want to see us reading out their names? No, guys. Thank you again for checking out this video here of That 90s Show. The next episode of season 19 that we shall be reviewing will be an episode titled Love Springfieldian Style. So if you've got any memories of that one, make sure you let us know whether what do you think that's going to be about? Love Springfieldian Style.
I'm going to hazard a guess.
It feels like it's going to be another...
Love? No, like a Love Actually kind of deal.
I feel like it's going to be another sort of like non-canon one, kind of like this, where it's just sort of a fucking around with things a little bit. So like various love stories or whatever.
I think it'll take the Love Actually approach of being
that'd be cool,
kind of an anthology or a montage.
I love anthology stories.
They're great.
Yeah, the way all the stories intertwine, I love them.
Fantastic.
Yes. So hopefully that's what this one is.
Yeah.
We shall find out. But again, thank you all for all of your support here at 4 Figure Discount. Do not forget to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify if you haven't done so, or wherever you do find this show. If you can also support us on Patreon, that would be much appreciated as well. You can do so for as just as little as $1 per month. So if you're enjoying these 500 plus hours of entertainment we've given you just on this show alone over the last 9 years, $1 a month doesn't seem that much to pay.
The maths adds up.
Yeah. Also, if you want to get in touch with us, it is simpsonsmailbag@gmail.com. Now, I did mention that we're going to be doing a mailbag episode at the final Friday of every month. That's not going to be happening this month because instead you're going to be hearing our chat with Matt Sum. Matt Sum's coming on the show. We're recording that this week, so it's going to be a little bit late. It's going to be early August, and we'll do a mailbag at the end of August as well. So we're going to be chatting to Matt in a couple of days about this episode and just about Simpsons in general, Simpsons season 36 and everything, because just about SDCC, all things happening at Simpsons with Matt Salmon. That's going to be coming this Friday on your feed, so look out for that one as well. But for now, Mr. Davis, any final words for those incredible listeners out there?
Well, we hope you've enjoyed listening to Dando and Guy, just a couple of monkey men making the gas flow.